Hey guys, how we doing? It's been a while, I know. This will probably be one of my last videos, unless I start talking about the Thunder. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not, but I do follow the Thunder really closely. I watch almost every game. Living in Oklahoma, we treat our Thunder really good, and we're all really big fans. As you can see, I'm ready for the game tonight. I'm pumped up. I hate the Lakers, and I always love to beat them, especially whenever it's going to be their sixth straight loss. So I'm ready to beat them tonight. Anyway, guys, I want to talk about Dallas, though. I want to start with the running backs coach being fired. That's not really a big deal. I've been watching a couple of videos from people that I'm subscribed to, and you guys act like that's some big deal. I don't understand how that's a big deal. I think of it as the same way as a baseball team firing their strength and conditioning coach just because the guys aren't hustling. It's just to get a message across to the guys. That's all it is. And a running backs coach doesn't make a damn difference either way. The reason we're doing this is because we want to send a message. That's the whole point of this, I'm telling you. So it's not a big deal. I don't know why anybody's really upset about it. The other thing, Rob Ryan was fired. Now, this is a big deal, and it kind of shocked me because I didn't see it coming. I wasn't a Rob Ryan fan coming in. I don't like his defensive strategy one bit. I don't like his unprofessional attitude. I never have been a big fan of him. I don't like his brother at all either. I'm not a Ryan brother fan. I don't like either one of them. And I wasn't happy about him coming in. But I don't put this season on him. And I don't put last season on him either. Because last season we didn't have the players. This season we had the players, but 5 or 6 guys hurt? I mean, that's tough for anybody to coach. Now, Monte Kiffin just got hired. And I like it. I mean, I do like it because I like professional guys as our coaches. I'm not a big fan of that trash-talking, jerk attitude that Rob Ryan brings. I don't like seeing him on the sideline screaming F words every 5 seconds. I don't like that. To me, that's college and high school stuff. That's not NFL. The NFL, these guys are real deal coaches, and they don't need to be acting like a bunch of clowns on the sidelines. And Rob Ryan does that. And I don't like that one bit. And I don't like his strategy. So I think that was a move that I personally would have made. But again, I'm not blaming Rob Ryan, and it did shock me a little bit. But no, I knew Jason Garrett wasn't going to get fired, and I'm not upset about that. I've told you guys time and time again, I am not a Jason Garrett hater. And the reason I say that is because this team could have folded this season, guys. I mean, they could have folded. We had so many injuries. We were 3-5 at one point, 5-6 at another point. At 5-6 we had to play Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, New Orleans, and Washington. We saw that schedule, and you thought it's over. We don't have a chance. Being 2 games back, 1 game back, whatever it was, you thought we don't really have a chance. And me personally, I didn't think we had a chance. But then we lost a teammate in Jerry Brown. And that made things even more difficult. And that made me even more of a doubter of my own team. Because I didn't think this team could stick together, having so much emotion and so many injuries. And I just didn't see it happening. Jason Garrett kept this team together. You cannot avoid giving him credit for doing that. Because this team was done. And he got them back together and kept them together as a team. And they played hard. They played very hard. They left it all out on the field. And I'm proud of them for that. And I'm proud of Jason Garrett for that. The one thing I'll say about Jason Garrett, I'm not real impressed with his play calling. I do admit that sometimes. I wouldn't mind hiring an offensive coordinator and letting Garrett just do the head coaching. Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State, a college coach, one of my personal favorite coaches in football, period. He was an offensive coordinator and a head coach for a while, but he figured out this is too tough. I got to find somebody. I think Dallas needs to do the same thing. Jason Garrett needs to do the same thing. I would personally. Not saying he can still call the plays, but he needs to find somebody to be an offensive coordinator with him. And, that's my opinion on that. Tony Romo, everybody wants to get rid of him. Let me make a point to you guys. There's a quarterback, I can't exactly remember his name. He plays for North Carolina State. He's going to go in the first round. He's a highly recruited, quarterback. He's a good player. And, Dallas drafting 18th. I'm hearing Dallas fans wanting to take him. Well, let me ask you this. If we take this guy, 18th overall, where does that put us? Where does that put the Cowboys? I'm just curious. We don't get any better by doing that. We're building for the future. Maybe. We may be building for the future. Do you guys want to give up on the team that we have now? Or do you guys want to build for the future? I'm curious. I'm not being disrespectful or mean in any way. I'm seriously asking you the question. What do you guys want to do? Build for the future by drafting a new quarterback in the first round, or keeping Tony Romo and keep building on what we have? I say build on what we have. I don't think Romo is the problem. Guys, even if we beat Washington, we're not going to beat Seattle. We're not going to go anywhere. Look at all the injuries that we had against Washington. Miles Austin got hurt. Cole Beasley, Dwayne Harris, Dez, all those guys were hurt. I don't think they're playing the next week. And then we're screwed. And then it's just Romo and Murray and Ogletree. I mean, we're talking Andre Holmes and Armstrong, guys like that are coming in and playing receiver. We didn't have a chance. So I'm not that critical on Tony Romo because we didn't have anywhere else to go after that game. So I think this is not necessarily for the best, but it gives us a draft pick a little earlier, and it lets us continue to build. And we can still build on this team. The window's closing, though. I say that. The window is closing. We've seen DeMarcus Ware slow down. We've seen other players. Jason Witten's getting a little older. Every year, he's not getting any younger, but he's not slowing up yet. Tony Romo getting a little older. Miles Austin, we're seeing him kind of go away. So that opens up possibilities. Does Miles Austin need to go? Does Felix Jones need to go? Ogletree, Ratliff, Spencer? What do we need to do? I think you got to choose between Spencer and Ratliff on the defensive side. Who do you want more? I say Spencer. I think Ratliff needs to go. He can't stay healthy, and he's got a little bit of an attitude towards Jerry Jones and coaches. I don't like that. I think Ratliff needs to go. I want to stick with Miles Austin. I don't really care about getting a guy like Greg Jennings in replacement of Miles Austin. Greg Jennings is kind of in the same situation Miles is in, as he was hurt this whole season, and we don't really need another injury-prone receiver. Now, Dwayne, if we can open up some cap space, it's all about the cap space, guys. People forget about the cap, the salary cap and all that. That's what makes it difficult for Jerry Jones. And so Dwayne Bowe's a possibility. I'd like to have that. Maybe having 3 guys, that'd be great. I don't think that's going to happen because, again, there's a cap space, and we need to build on our offensive line. So our first-round draft pick, in my opinion, Barrett Jones, a center out of Alabama, one of the linemen from Texas A&M. There's some linemen there. Our draft pick needs to go towards a lineman. There's no doubt. Or a defensive tackle. One of the two. But I think this whole draft, we need to concentrate on linemen, defensive tackle, and some secondary for our safeties. I think our linebacker position is pretty good if we can just stay healthy. Corners, Claiborne's going to keep getting better. I think I'm happy with Carr. Jenkins will probably go. Scandrick, we could use another corner as well probably. Defensive ends, we're good there. I think, receivers, running backs, we've got some things we can look for, but I think we're good everywhere but the offensive line, defensive tackles, and safeties. I think that's something we need to look for. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. I think that's it. This is one thing I want to say, guys. I'm seeing people, Shango, all these people talking. We need to get Jerry Jones. We need to protest. Come on. I mean, go ahead and protest. You do that. I'm not going to. I said it time and time again. Jerry's going nowhere. Nobody's going to protest. Quit acting like you are. Quit talking. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So anyways, I'm not going to even get too into that, but I think that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. The other thing, I want to give you my pick for the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be Broncos and Falcons for the Super Bowl. And I'm picking the Broncos to win it. I'm going with my boy Peyton Manning. I don't necessarily think that's exactly what's going to happen. That's just what I'm hoping for. Those are the 2 teams I'm rooting for. But we'll see. Falcons, Broncos. Let me know who you guys are picking. Let me know some thoughts on the season. I guess if I start talking Thunder basketball, hopefully I can get some comments on that. I don't know how many Thunder fans there are. Probably a lot of Maverick fans. But I'll talk about some Thunder basketball if you guys want me to. All right, guys. Take it easy.